The director of the National Center for Public Policy, here to talk about a story that's causing a little bit of an uproar here in New York City. Donations to homeless shelters, city shelters, are being turned away because they are not healthy enough. Give us a little explanation about this rule.
It turns out New York City is turning away all food donations. I mean, if you had a broccoli salad and you wanted to donate it, or an institution wanted to donate a broccoli salad, my synagogue has been donating salads to homeless shelters, and recently the city started turning them away. The city's homeless shelters said, no, we want to control. We're the government. We're controlling what these people eat, and they can't have any of it. They're
okay,
it all
so
away.
This is only for city shelters, right? There are plenty of other places. You could take your broccoli salad and donate it to all the other shelters that are not run by the city.
Absolutely, but I think it's somewhat troubling when the government controls how many people, what people are eating. And this, New York City has a lot of homeless shelters, and a lot of people are eating there. The people aren't starving at the homeless shelters, but they enjoy these different types of foods, rather than institutional foods that they're always getting served. And these are senior citizens who are recovering from drug and alcohol abuse, and people from the community are coming in and donating foods that their own synagogue serves, and they're saying, you know what, the city's saying, you know what, we don't want it. They don't
Mayor Bloomberg has said this is a safety issue. Here's what he said. He said, because of all sorts of safety reasons, we just have a policy. It is my understanding of not taking donations.
Well, the city's homeless shelters have accepted these donations for years. I know people who have delivered them. Only after the city came up with new nutritional guidelines which dictate every calorie, every carb, every piece of sugar, salt, and fat, trans fats. They even have preferred condiments, which ketchup you ought to be using. Only after they put in those guidelines did they stop accepting the food.
So is that a bad thing at a place where there's enough food, right? No one's arguing that in New York City shelters that people are starving and desperately need the food. Is there some upside to saying, you know what, actually, because a lot of people aren't giving broccoli salad, we've donated to shelters, right? And what we give is leftover birthday cake, and you give potato chips, and you get, after a big school event, you deliver that stuff, which is not so healthy. And when you look at the populations of these shelters, highly minority, Latino and Black, who have big issues with obesity, big issues with diabetes, all correlated to your diet. So is there really another
There's
side
no question we want people to eat healthful diets, but part of nutrition is balance and being reasonable. I think the mayor's lost sight of that. I think we want people to have a healthy diet, but also enjoy an occasional healthy treat, as is being donated to these synagogues. And these people, their hearts are warmed and their stomachs are warmed by some of this great food that they're getting that houses of worship are serving to their own members, to their own congregants.
Well, how about this? If these are city-run shelters, there are other shelters out there that provide food for folks, and so there are options to give the food somewhere else.
And that is absolutely true, but I think it sends a message that the city shelters don't want people being involved in serving people. And yeah, you can donate it somewhere else, and the people aren't going hungry, but what kind of message does it send when the government uses its power to dictate how people eat?
The offensive thing is it's an extension of a message that's been in place for a long time. This city is controlling not just the city homeless shelters, but what people can eat as far as their salt content, their trans fat content. There's laws that affect every single one of us, and now this is a law that seems to affect our charity as well. You're absolutely right. The government can control what it gives away for free, but it's just an extension of a larger habit this city has made.
Yeah, but why isn't it to say, got it, and you have a choice. If you can choose not to be in a city shelter, or you can choose to go drop it off at a different, no, you can choose to go drop it off at a different shelter. I don't think anybody is going to choose, well, I want a broccoli salad, so I'm going to move out of, I mean, that would be in complete insanity. But there are other places where you could go and deliver that food. The concern would be wasted food, right? The concern is that someone has food and you're wasting it.
That's part of it, and the food can be donated to other places sometimes. But I know lots of people who have been donating food to city shelters and being turned away. And the problem with that is it sends a message that the government is in control of how people live, how people donate, and they want to expand government control rather than encourage more private charity.
We'll take the broccoli salad here, by the way. Just throwing it out there for the synagogue. Happy to take it. Well, I'll take the broccoli salad. It's nice to have you, Jeff Stier, joining us. Coming up next.